One of the most iconic vehicles in all of American popular culture. Fans of the Batmobile are going to have a lot to love in the new Batman movie. Joining us now is Wall Street Journal's driver's seat blogger Jonathan Welsh to tell us all about some of the new vehicles you're going to see in the movie and a new documentary about them. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning.
So you mentioned in your story on the blog that really it's a scavenger hunt for fans of the Batmobile to see all the lethal vehicles you got in this movie, from the Batmobile to bikes to buses. Even, you know, you get some of the Tumbler from the previous movie. You got pretty much everything here.
Right. Well, as the Batmobile, or rather as the Batman movies have evolved, people have increasingly obsessed over the vehicles. There's been a little bit more automotive eye candy in each successive episode, and they kind of all come together in this one. There was a lot of speculation before this movie about whether the Batwing would return. You know, Batman's flying, you know, his aircraft. And
we have something like that. That's almost a Lamborghini that flies, you say?
Right. Well, the car that he drives around in it has kind of a Lamborghini-like look, but this vehicle that can fly, we just call it the flying car. Some people are referring to it as the Bat. I'm not really certain yet what its official name is, but it's kind of it's the alpha vehicle for Batman in this movie. You know, heavily armed, it drives, it flies. That's what everyone's going to be kind of waiting to see.
Now, you mentioned in your story there's actually a documentary about all these vehicles that's been produced?
There is a fairly well timed. It comes out later this year, but it's called The Batmobile, and it goes back to the beginning of how did Batman get around in the comic book series, dating back to the late 1930s. Since he doesn't really have superpowers and he can't fly, he's always
right? Yeah.
needed to get to the scene. And it started with regular everyday cars and the Batmobile from the 1960s TV show, and he's moved with the times. Very high-tech vehicles he has for the latest film.
You mentioned the 1960s vehicle. When that one came out, it was actually kind of old, correct?
It was. I can recall looking at it even as a kid and thinking, why does it still have tail fins in the 1960s? I thought that went out in the 50s, but it was actually a 1950s concept car, the kind of thing you would see at an auto show. A customizer named George Barris got a hold of it, modified it heavily. But when you look at the concept car, you can tell, oh, that's the Batmobile, and it's from 1955, so about 10 years before the series.
Anne Hathaway, Catwoman, she gets her own vehicle this movie too, huh?
Oh yes, she gets a hold of Batman's Batpod, the heavily armed motorcycle from the previous Dark Knight film, and she knows what to do with that thing.
So when are you going to see the movie, Jonathan? Do you have your tickets yet?
Oh, no, I'm hoping either tomorrow or Sunday, depending on how the schedule goes. I can't wait too long, though.
I personally did not get the invite to that great screening that came out a couple days ago. I was very unhappy. I really want to see it, but I am going at 9 a.m. on Saturday, which is probably a little crazy. It is not a little crazy. It is very crazy. But anyway, Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Great report.
My pleasure.